Good morning, everybody. Time for Beans and Business. Thanks for tuning into the show. My name is Nicholas James Thomasma. I'm an independent musician living in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's Thursday, May 25th, 2023, and we are on the cusp of Memorial Day weekend, which is fantastic. It's the official start to summer this weekend. I am headed to Buses by the Beach, which is a Volkswagen bus and music festival. There's like 130, 150 Volkswagen buses that come, and then like 15 bands that play all weekend too. And my band plays every year, so it's wonderful to have an annual event like that. In fact, I have quite a few annual events, and people who are signed up for my mailing list are, of course, aware of this because every month I send out a newsletter with all of my dates for the month, and then also like updates on what's going on in my life. And it's kind of like a behind the scenes. It's, if you follow me on social media, you'll see a lot of this stuff. But there's just no way you see everything on social media. That's the way it works. So I send out this email that's like a recap of my month, and here's what I'm working on. Here's what I've got going forward, which is what I wanted to talk about today is email. Quite simply, just email. Email is probably the most important tool that I have for communication as a musician. It's the number one thing that I use. There are all kinds of ways to communicate these days, and it definitely used to be a long time ago, telephones. That was it. And I remember talking to some musicians. I was like, man, I don't know how musicians used to tour back in the 70s. Did you just like call the operator in like St. Louis and be like, hey, tell me all the bars that have live music? And like musicians were like, yes, that's what we did. We would call other towns and ask them, where can we go play music? And then we would call those places and try to get somebody on the phone. And I am just like, that sounds terrifying to me. I don't like talking on the phone. Personally, I have phonophobia. I don't even like being on the phone. So email has been my number one source of communication for as long as I've been booking shows. And it basically goes like this. Hi, my name is Nicholas James Thomasma. I'm a singer-songwriter in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and a member of the Earthwork Music Collective. I travel around in a bright orange 1973 Volkswagen bus, singing songs and telling stories. My music is acceptable for patrons of all ages. I would love to come perform at your venue. That's pretty much it. That's like the bulk of the email. I usually include a link to a video so they can see what I look like. But that's kind of the thing that has gotten me tons and tons of gigs over the years, just sending out this email. And then on top of that, booking happens like 3 months in advance, right? Or more. And so I don't remember this conversation. I have to go back. Once the show gets close, I have to go back to the email and look, what were the agreements? What time do I have to be there? How much am I getting paid? Is dinner included? That's all in the email that I sent out months ago. So I can go check on that. And then, like I mentioned at the beginning, email is my number one connection with my fans. Social media is fantastic, but really people who really want to know what's going on in my life sign up for my email list, and they get the newsletter every month. And when I send out a newsletter that has a new release or something big in it, people respond to it. If I ask them to buy stuff, they buy stuff. It's incredible. And I could not do this without the support of these fans, these friends, my family. My mom is on the mailing list. Like, this is the best way to communicate because it's the thing that I own. I don't own Facebook. Facebook could go away any day, and that would just be it. Same thing with Instagram, TikTok, all of them. And if you don't believe me, just think about MySpace and how important MySpace was to musicians at that time period. MySpace is gone now, but I still have the same email address that I signed up for 20 years ago. People don't change their email address nearly as much as they change their phone number or their physical address even. It's easier to move than it is to move your email. It's crazy. So with that said, don't forget about email. It's one of the most important tools that you have as a musician. It's 100% free. It's searchable. It's a database full of information. It's there for us, and I recommend that you utilize it. If you'd like to know more about it, please sign up for my mailing list. If you just go to my website, nicholasjamesthomasma.com, there's a link right there at the start where you can sign up. And the next update is going to go out next week, and I've got some big news coming for June. So please join me on the email list, and then you can also join me here each and every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. for Beans and Business. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.